Life is Strange. So I think I reacted to kind of like the announcement trailer for this game, simply because it's back to like not old characters, but old character. Um, Good old Max Caulfield. So this is Double Exposure. They should call it Max Caulfield Gone Wild. Double Exposure. Um, but this is kind of like game. Okay, this is a gameplay overview trailer. So let's see what awaits us in Life is Strange Double Exposure, and with our good friend, someone who seems like she totally learned her lesson from the last time, Max Caulfield.
Max Caulfield, the girl who could rewind time, is back.
Let's thrash, Chakabra.
But when one of her new friends, Safi Llewellyn Fayyad, is murdered in the grounds of Caledon University, Max finds that her chaotic power has changed. Now, Max must shift back and forth to reveal the truth of her friend's murder, in an attempt to save Safi before it's too late. Once Max's new power manifests, she can send a pulse out from her fingertips at any time. While Pulse is active, she can peer through to the other world, seeing the differences between the timelines clearly. People and objects in the other timeline appear as dimensional echoes, allowing Max to avoid watchful eyes when shifting.
Good thing I can keep an eye on Alderman from here. Wouldn't want to show up right in front of him.
What the hell?
While Pulse shimmers around her, she can also see places where the veil between the two timelines is at its thinnest. These shift points are where she can push through to the opposite timeline to help her investigation in a multitude of ways.
Oh,
You need me to hold something, or...?
actually, yeah. I need an Allen wrench.
Okay, so like I said in the beginning, you would think that the first time Max would have realized, hey, maybe I shouldn't be using these powers. You know, look how much trouble they caused me the last time. And that was just rewinding time. Now she's tearing through the very fabric of time and space into an alternate dimension, an alternate timeline. She's messing with time even more. Does she not learn her lesson? And I'll get to this at the end. Let's watch the end, and then I'll kind of tell you kind of what this reminds me of about these heroes who just don't seem to get it.
Got one around here?
No, I borrowed one from Carla, but I think she took it back. If you can go grab that from her, I'll owe you.
This could be to solve a puzzle, convince a character to reveal a secret, or retrieve an object lost in one timeline by borrowing it from another.
Better give this wrench to Moses.
Shift points work in both directions, so you can shift back and forth from the same spot.
So I found this guy named Alan, but he didn't know anything about a wrench.
No, Max, not literally Allen. It's... Oh. You are a lifesaver, Max. Dad joke aside.
I'll never apologize for my dad jokes.
If you're worried about losing track of which timeline you're in, well, Max herself may get confused too.
Have you talked to Reggie since yesterday? Reggie? Crap! Wrong Loretta, Max.
In the options, you can toggle a UI indicator every time you shift, confirming the reality you've just arrived in, as well as there being visual cues such as cheery Christmas decor in the timeline where Safi is alive. Most importantly to Max's investigation, everyone you meet has an increasingly divergent duplicate in the other timeline. Depending on which timeline you're in, they'll react to Max and her probing questions very differently. A grief-sodden conversation in one timeline may unlock an unexpected heart-to-heart in the other.
Grief is hard. The trick is not to let it change your character.
Everyone at Caledon is hiding something, and Max is the only one with a viewpoint unique enough to unravel those secrets, and the determination to reach the truth at all costs.
Everybody's talking about her like she had a heart attack or a car accident. But she was murdered. Someone murdered her. I don't know how we're expected to just be okay with that.
Max has never been so powerful or in so much danger. The fates of her friends and of 2 timelines are at Max's fingertips.
Oh my god, yes, Slag Queen. No, so again, she had powers like this before, or not even like this. Simple, just rewinding time to a certain extent. And look how many problems it caused her. Now again, she is tearing through the fabric of space and time to an alternate timeline. And she's like, this is fine. This is fine. There's nothing wrong with this. And I think I said it the first time. So this reminds me, if you've seen Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, it reminds me of was it fourth season, when she gets trapped in the Endless, and so the short of it, she's on the search for the Holy Regalia. She gets trapped, petrified, in hell. Everyone on Earth dies. She's kind of awakened by herself. I mean, she comes along and awakens her. She finds Ambrose. They take the unholy regalia, smelt it down to a morning star, the ball and chain, use the time egg that Ambrose has been hiding, and she travels back in time to before she was sealed away by Caliban. She kind of warns herself, saying, "Oh, hey, yeah, it's Caliban and a glamour. Don't be stupid this time." And she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm supposed to, and then you got to come to this point in time and do the same thing that I'm about to do." And it's like, well, how about this? How about you want to be queen of hell, right? I want a normal life. So why can we not have both? So essentially, there's one timeline with 2 Sabrinas. In the 4th season, with the Eldritch Terrors and stuff, hell, heaven, earth realm start to kind of collapse in on each other because there's 2 Sabrinas, which not supposed to happen. So in order to restore the balance, Metatron comes down like, oh yeah, one or both Sabrinas must die, or they have to merge just so that there's one Sabrina again. And then they're like, okay, well, what if we just send one to an alternate dimension? And they're like, okay. So one of the Sabrinas, Sabrina Morningstar, gets sent to the other dimension, other universe, and peace is restored. She gets stuck in the Endless, and at the very end, as the Cosmic is, doing a drive-by and destroying everything, the Endless is caught up in that. And all the people there who, they're not really her family, but they look like her family, so, Hilda, Zelda, Ambrose, you get the idea. She's like, we need to save as many of them as possible. And it's like, bitch, what don't you understand? And this is Sabrina Morningstar, like the queen of hell, the wiser, supposed to be more mature Sabrina. It's like, bitch, do you not remember what got you sent here in the first place? Do you not remember? Look what happened when there was 2 Sabrinas. Imagine 2 Hildas, 2 Zeldas, 2 Ambroses, 2 Harveys. Did you learn nothing? And for me, for Max, with Max here, it's the same thing. Did you learn nothing? Rewinding time had its consequences. Now she is tearing through this fabric of space and time into an alternate timeline. Did she not learn anything? Did she not learn anything? If you're going to give these powers to someone, give it to someone who isn't Max. She saw what happened the first time, how fucking around with time can cause a lot of problems. The whole point was her to go through the story, and she's saving Chloe all these times, and then at the end she's meant to realize that, hey, sometimes things are just meant to happen. Chloe was meant to die when she was supposed to die, and every time Max saves her, just something goes wrong. You know, whether a deviation in the timeline where Chloe's now freaking bedbound and like, oh please Max, kill me, or whatever the case is, that you fuck with time, bad things happen. Even if you're doing with the best of intentions, there's always side effects and consequences. And that's what she realizes at the end. It's like, hey, Max, I mean, look what's happening. Look what's happening. You know, if I had just died when I was supposed to die, none of this would be happening. So just let me die. So if you're gonna have this type of game, have it with someone who doesn't know the consequences. You know, I know it's such a stupid thing to go on about, but again, she knows the consequences of messing with time. Just rewinding time has its consequences. I mean, yeah, she did a lot of good. She was able to save like Kate from, you know, herself. But especially with Chloe, if the person like that is supposed to die at a certain point and you just keep messing around with it. So your friend died. She got murdered. Just, if anything, use your power to just find out who did it. Don't try to save her or anything. Just find out who did it so there's some kind of closure. So that way the guy's arrested. But trying to prevent it or whatever, it's just going to be Chloe all over again. It's going to be like 1,000,001 ways for this one character to die. Or, you know, so Max Caulfield learned nothing from her first time manipulating, you know, the fabric of time. And here she is able to tear open portals with, you know, rifts in space and time. And, yeah, still hasn't learned anything. Yeah, what do you have to say about it? Yeah. Come on. I mean, at least the game looks kind of nice, and I think it's the same voice for Max. But the whole premise is fucking stupid. It's fucking stupid given the fact that we know Max has done crap like this before and learned a lesson from it. If you're going to give it Life is Strange and these powers to tear space-time open, at least have it with a new character who doesn't know the consequences. You know, but that's just me. You know, if you're going to have a character doing this, a character that we haven't seen. Because we know what happens when you mess around with time. But anyway, double exposure. But yeah. Life is Strange. Anyway, that's gonna do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.